Hey guys, this is the second spooky video because everyone wanted to know more of all the spooky things that have happened to me, and I did say that I would do a second one if people wanted to see that. So I've also I think I mentioned it in the last video that I had some stuff that was to do with my family as well, but like I wanted to make sure that I could talk about it. I needed to get like their permission, and they said that I could. So I'm going to include some of that because, to be fair, a lot of it recently has been around that anyway. So yeah, the things that I would have included last time was that, like I say, it was a bit personal because it was to do with another member of my family, which is my sister. Her ex-boyfriend, I won't name him because that's a bit strange, but anyway, her ex-boyfriend, as in the father of her daughter, my beautiful niece, he actually passed away a couple of months ago now. We're still not 100% sure of what, but given his background, I would assume it was an overdose, to be honest, which is why we didn't really have anything to do with him. Probably not going to go too much into that, but basically, since he passed away, a lot of weird stuff has been happening to her as well. Obviously, I mentioned last time that in some of the stuff that I included in the last video, some of the videos, and that was actually in her house. That was because I used to live with her before she had my niece, and then obviously there wasn't enough room for me there, so I moved out on my own. So spooky stuff was happening in that house anyway. But yeah, since he's passed away, a lot of really weird stuff's been happening. So basically, the first thing that I can remember that was a bit strange that happened to her was the fact that a mirror that he put up in her dining room. Actually, no, it's her living room. In her living room, it's quite a big, square, heavy thing because it's like, if I remember rightly, it's got like mosaic style around the outside. It's like painted, and then there's like a few mosaic pieces, and then the mirror's in the middle, and it's very heavy. So he had to put that up because he had to, if I remember rightly, he had to drill into the wall to put it up. And yeah, literally not long after he passed away, my sister went out somewhere, and then when she came back, that mirror had somehow fallen off of the wall or come off of the wall and landed like directly below where it was, leaning up against the wall and untouched. Like, it was not smashed, it wasn't broken. The attachment, like the nail, was still in the wall. So, and that's been up for a long time, like years. So I'm a bit confused how it could just sort of come off of the nail and then fall down straight and then lean up against the wall again. It's a little bit strange. So that kind of freaked her out because it just literally looked like someone had come in, took it off, and then just put it underneath where it was. Like I say, it wasn't broken or anything, and it's not like the nail slid down and it just fell or anything like that. So that was very strange. That freaked her out a little bit because she was like, that was fine before I left, and now it's just sat there. Also, another strange thing, due to some of the reasons that I said before, trying to keep it, relatively nice because he has passed away, bless him. My niece didn't see her dad, really. I think he met her once when she was just after she was born. He came round with his mum, I think, and sort of, met her and interacted with her and stuff. But obviously, she was a tiny newborn baby, and he did get some photos with her, which is good. But he didn't see her again after that because he just wanted to continue on the destructive path that he was on. So my sister thought it best that, he didn't see her. Which was for the best, to be honest. But for some weird reason, literally the next day after he passed away, she just started, because she'll be 3 in February, so she's not particularly very old, and it's never really come up about her dad because she doesn't quite understand the concept. Well, she's just learning the concept of mummy and daddy and all that kind of stuff. But before that, when this started, she hadn't been anywhere where someone would say, like, oh, what about your dad? Or asking her about her dad, or the concept of a dad. Like, even the programs that she would watch, the films and stuff. Like, obviously most Disney films, as most people know, they only have a mum, or, whatever, or they only have one parent. And I think most of the films that she watches, it is just the mum. Like, it was Toy Story, and I can't remember the other film that she watched, but it was just the mums. So the concept of a dad just never really came up. And my sister didn't really mention it, because why would she? But for some reason, literally the day after he passed away, she started saying, where's my daddy? Where's my daddy? Which we thought was really weird because, like I say, she had no reason to do that. She just kept asking where he was. Like, we were like, what? Why are you asking that? Obviously, since then, she started nursery school. So, obviously, from then, she would, maybe be asked, because they won't know, like, about her dad or whatever. It might come up, and interacting with other kids, that have dads, she might ask about it. But it was just bizarre that at that point, she had no concept of that. And just to literally the next day start asking. And then my sister found out, and it was just really weird. So that could have been a coincidence, but it was a very strange coincidence. She also started talking to the air after that. She started just chuntering away, not really making much sense, because she's still learning to, like, form sentences. It's really weird when she starts talking, though. It's weird, but it's cute, It's that kind of thing. And sometimes when she comes out with a full sentence, I'm still like, so cute. But yeah, she was just talking to nothing, like the air. And then she started saying stuff like, oh, the tree's talking to me, and stuff like that. And my sister was like, what tree? There's no tree there. And it was just very creepy. And then the most recent weird thing that happened with her, which I can't really explain either. Like, it's just really bizarre. None of these things I can really explain. A while ago, for her birthday, where I work, they sell balloons as well, and I got her, like, a happy birthday balloon. And then there was just, like, a unicorn balloon that someone had bought and then just didn't want for some reason. Like, they paid for it to be blown up and everything, but then they just didn't want it. So it was just sat there. I think it was from, like, the day before I went in, and they were like, oh, if you want it, you can just have it. Just pay, like, £1 into the charity pot. So I was like, oh, okay. So I did. So I took her that, and then obviously eventually it popped, and she got really sad about it. And then when we went out, this was a while ago, we went out for a day in town. Well, we didn't spend the day in town because, everything that's going on right now. But my mum needed to go to the bank or something. So anyway, we ended up in town centre, and I haven't been there for a while since all this kicked off. And we were looking after her, and we walked past a store that sold that balloon, and they had one outside. So she was like, oh, she calls them nenes, because she can't say horse. So she was like, oh, my nene popped. And I was like, oh yeah. And because she kept saying it all the time, she still had it, even though it was popped. So I was like, I'll get her another one. So we went in there and got it anyway. And my sister was very overjoyed by it, because it's quite a big balloon. It was bigger than my niece. Anyway, she was kind of happy though, because she was like, you know, she just go on about it every day. Then it popped, so now she's got another one. But yeah, the other day, my sister messaged me about it because she said, "Oh, LJ decided to take the weight off of the bottom of the balloon and was playing with it, like the string." And obviously, because she took it off, and I think she must have run through or something. Anyway, it ended up on the ceiling, but on the stairs. And where my sister's house is, because it's an old house, the ceiling for the stairs goes right up. Like you cannot get up there. It's impossible. You know, just to decorate it, you would need like an extra large, like long pole just to roll over the ceiling. Like you would need an industrial pole to do that. It's so high. So yeah, it was stuck up there for for a while. And then yeah, my sister said about it to me. She said, "Oh yeah, it's stuck on the ceiling." And I was like, "Oh, I can't really reach up there to get it." And she was like, "No, neither can I." But she's obviously sad about it because it's stuck up there and she keeps saying about it. And my sister went upstairs and then all of a sudden it was gone. And it was in my niece's room by her bed. Don't know how that happened. It had somehow dropped down low enough to clear like where the stairs kind of goes down, obviously. No, it goes the other way. So it had come down and then it had gone under the door frame and then up and then into her room and then drifted by her bed and then just sat there. It wasn't like deflated or anything. It was still... How does that happen? And how did it know that that was her room? Like, why didn't it go anywhere else? Like, why didn't it just drop down and go into like the stairwell? It just didn't make any sense. Like, it was perfectly placed by her bed. So that was creepy. And then I remembered some other things as well that had happened after I'd done the video that had happened to me. One is quite a recent one, but one's a really old one, and I'm pretty sure I didn't mention it because I've thought about it when I was talking about it with my mum, and it was when we lived at her old house together. And like I say, there was a mischievous like ghost that lived there that used to move things, and we used to joke about it, but it wasn't too prominent. Like, you could say, you know, oh, maybe I did put it there and I just forgot, or, you know, whatever. But then it happened to me and it was really blatant. I really hope I didn't mention this last time. I'm pretty sure I didn't include it because I forgot. So forgive me if I've already mentioned this one in my last video. But this one time when it happened to me, it was really blatant, like I say, and it really freaked me out because basically I had a side table, which I've still got. This is like a little black set of drawers that's part of the bed set that I've got. And it was by my bed and it had nothing on it because my cat at the time, Toby, I miss him so much, he used to like to sit up there. So I had nothing on that table. Nothing. Because he liked to sit up there. Obviously, if I had anything on it, he would knock it off. But on this occasion, he was downstairs, I think, sleeping on the sofa, and I put keys on that table. And I thought to myself, I'll put them there because he's not there. He's downstairs. So I can put them there because I'm going to need them in like 10 minutes when we leave. And I know that if I don't put them on there, which is on my way out of my room, I will forget them. Anyway, so the 10 minutes pass of us like doing whatever we need to do. I go to get my keys. They're not there. I was like, what the hell? Like, I know I put them there, and I thought maybe Toby came upstairs when I was sorting myself out and jumped up and knocked them off. I was like, I didn't see him do that, but maybe he did. Or maybe when I put them on there, like, I slid my hand across or something absent-mindedly and they fell off. I don't know. Anyway, pulled the drawer set out, looked behind them, looked under them, looked around them. Nothing. Looked in all the drawers in case, like, you know, I opened them or something and they fell in and I closed it. Who knows? Anyway, I literally checked everything. So then I was like, okay, so maybe I didn't put them on the drawer set. I know I did, but maybe I didn't. So then we started looking downstairs and my mum joined in as well. And she did the exact same thing. She went to the drawer set because obviously that's where I said I left them. and she looked behind them, she looked around them, she was looking in all the drawers. She was like, where would they have slid off to? And she would check to make sure that, like, it's not, like, unlevel. But then she was like, well, even if it was, like, they would be behind it or down the side of it. We could not find these keys. We went downstairs and I was looking everywhere. I was like, okay, well, the first place I came into was the kitchen, so we looked in the kitchen. Anyway, I got annoyed. I went back upstairs. I was like, they have to be in my room somewhere. Like, they have to be, because there's nowhere else they would be. I remember putting them on that table. So if I picked them up again, absent-mindedly, which I wouldn't have done, they have to be somewhere in my room. Went up there, looked on the table, on the dresser, like the drawers, right in the middle of the table. Right there. Nothing else on it. Just my keys. And I just went... and I shouted at my mum and I just went, please tell me that you see my keys just there. And she was like, that is really weird. She was like, did you put them there? And I was like, no, I swear to God. Like, we were downstairs, we were looking everywhere. There was no one else in the house. It was just me and her. We were looking everywhere for these keys, and she was getting a bit irate as well because we were running late at this point. And she was still searching when I went upstairs. And I was like, they're in the middle of the table, and there's no way in hell that we both of us did not see them on this black surface that is only this big in the middle of the table, which is where I put them originally. Where did they go? And then they just reappeared. It was just really bizarre. I was like, I can't explain that. Like, that was the creepiest time. Like, it was so blatant that it had disappeared and then it reappeared. And similar things has happened here, but like in a different way. Like really silly stuff. Like, I probably don't even need to mention it, but like the other day I was thinking, I knew that what was it? It was something really silly, like a dress or something that I'd put at the bottom of my bed. Like, there's like a little thing where I can put stuff, and I put my dress there because I was like, oh, if it gets hot tomorrow, like, I might wear it. Couldn't find it, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm sure I put it here. And then I said out loud, I was like, I'm sure I put my dress there, and it's not there, and I don't get it. And I walked through like all the other rooms in my little flat, and I was like, okay, maybe I just, put it somewhere else. Maybe I put it in a drawer. Looked through all the drawers. I had a drawer set in my little cupboard thing, so I looked through them. Went back into my room, and I was like, no, I just don't get it. So then I started to look for something else, and the first thing I picked up was that dress. Weird stuff like that happens all the time. It's like, because I said it out loud, it just appeared again. And I definitely went through everything and like meticulously. I was like, it has to be here, and it wasn't. And then I went back in there, and there it was. That happens a lot recently. But another weird thing, the most recent thing that happened, was something that I can't explain again. And that was, I don't know if everyone's probably seen them, but a while ago I did post it in my story. I don't think I put it on my actual Instagram. But I started making little clown dolls out of Monster High dolls. And I'm going to do 3, but I've only done 2 so far. I've done a birthday clown, which is rainbow coloured. And I've done another one, which is just a red and white circus clown. Kind of a little bit like Pennywise, I guess, but not really. And they're on my shelf. And obviously I've left room for the third one, which is going to be a mime, which is obviously going to be all black and white. But I haven't got around to doing that yet. So, yeah, the birthday clown is quite cute. She's rainbow, obviously. She's for birthdays. So I made her a balloon that she's got in her hand. I'll try and, like, upload pictures somewhere here. And of the 2, obviously the circus clown looks a little bit more creepy because she's red and white. And I think I did red swirls and eyes, so she does look a little bit more creepy. But she's not supposed to be creepy, but I mean, maybe she is, I don't know. I kind of like creepy clowns, but anyway. Yeah, so of the 2, I would have thought that if this happened, it would be the more creepy one, but it wasn't. It was the birthday clown. The cute little rainbow one with the balloon. Anyway, I was sat down watching TV, and the dog, like, shot across, and I was like, well, what is your problem? And then I looked, and basically she's like, because I made the balloon out of clay, it's not heavy because it's super light clay, but like I needed to put like tape to hold it onto the shelf, so she was attached by that. And she's also on a stand, the Monster High stands that go around their waist, so she had that and this balloon holding her in place. And I watched the bottom half of the stand move and then hang off the shelf. So she was just hanging on by this balloon that was attached to the shelf. And then the balloon fell. And then she just kind of, but she didn't fall straight down, which because the balloon is like heavier than the doll, I guess, maybe. Or maybe they're about the same. But regardless, she should have felt like fallen straight down, but she didn't. She fell across to the point where, and I watched this happen and I just went, okay. And I got up to pick her up and put her back on there, thinking that was really weird. She wasn't like where she should be. She was right under my couch, and there's no way she would have bounced, because I don't know if anyone's like seen the Monster High dolls, but they're not exactly like heavy or like rubbery or anything like that. There was no reason for her to bounce, and the bottom of the stand was like where she should have fallen, but that fell off first, and then somehow she ended up like underneath my sofa. It was just really bizarre. So I picked her up and I put her back together and I hung her back up, but I was just like, did I really just see that? That was really weird. I don't know how that happened. If she was gonna fall, I would have thought that, because this was what was going through my head when I was watching it. I was thinking, okay, so the tape falls and then the balloon falls, and because it's like heavier, then that's gonna topple her over. But that's not what happened. So I can't figure out, because they're posable, which is why I like using them for like customizing things, and most people do. There was just no way that she could have fallen. It was just so bizarre. I can't explain it. But like none of this stuff like freaks me out as such, because I don't think that whoever is doing it is malevolent. Is that the right word? Malevolent? Yeah. I think it's someone watching over me and whatever, but I think maybe they were just a bit too curious with the dolls. I don't think my doll is haunted. She's not done anything since, but it was a little bit strange, to say the least. So yeah, that's the second part. Again, if I think of anything else, like I'll do another one of these. Some weird things happen at my mum's as well, but I'll have to like sit down with her and get like the full details on that, if I do make another one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little spooky video. It's a little bit weird, and yeah, if you did, give it a thumbs up and everything else, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time, where I'll probably do a less scary video. I feel like I should do these for Halloween, but I'm just too impatient. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye.